Okay. Hi, this is the RV Women Hangout for Sunday. Just over 13 for a half an hour, and I haven't been recording, so I decided that I'd start recording now. You can see Anna's Joy as Smith is also here. I had somebody request of me, speaking of telling people who's here, I had people request that I announce how to get a hold of guests on the show, and I think that should, and I didn't do anything to jamming, but I don't know. Oh, Neil Dwyer is lab tech developer. Nice. Let's all write that down. Let's call him. No, I like lab. I like the way it works.
I like that too.
And it's simple. I got enough complex things going on in my life. You know, I don't need this to be complex either.
Did you read that where Nomadic Fanatic said there's a boondocking spot in Apalachicola?
There are a lot of boondocking spots in Apalachicola. There are, I think 4 of them. Now, what's going on in Apalachicola right now may be hunting season, and in which case that's going to make me kind of nervous. Mm-hmm. There are a lot of them, and I've written down many of them here on this piece of paper. Hickory Landing is not free, but it's $3. Cattle Lake is $15, and it's supposed to be pretty nice. And no, that's down there. That's up there. But, you know, there are a lot of places where you can just pull in, and it's just a matter really of what kind of vehicle you have. You know, what's your camping technique? You know, some of them aren't going to handle RVs. Some of them are just for tent people. Some of them are small vehicle people, you know, SUV people.
Right.
And, but I'll go find out. And some of the places are supposed to be really nice, and some of them are supposed to be Battery Park, right on the water. It's walking distance from downtown. Okay, I'll write that down. But anyway, I figured to be in that area, depending on the weather, through Christmas.
And static nomadic
Christmas
goes down to a place really close to where you're at. It's beautiful. Beautiful.
It is actually very beautiful here. And this campsite, or this RV park that I'm at, that I don't know the name of, it's called Heritage Oaks. Heritage Oaks RV Park. It is on the 292 or the Gulf Shores Highway. And the rate here is very nice. I mean, I paid $130 or $135 for the week. And, you know, that's okay with me. It'd be $400. And every place else that I was going to, it was $300 or $400. Somewhere I have. See, the state park I paid $59.84 at a state park. Gotta say, yeah. That counts as half.
Read what Gammon says.
Gammon, RV lady, you should hook up with Chico from Rufus and Dufus. He's selling his RV. I'm sure he could give you some ideas for places. You know, that's a really good idea. But I don't know where he is. Oh, he's in Vero Beach.
Yeah.
I will, and he's got his RV is for sale, just in case anybody. But I want to say he's 36 feet, and I think YouTube shows an entire record of him and that RV, and
He wants to go smaller. His RV is 38 foot or 36 foot, maybe 36 foot.
36, and
Yeah.
he does want to go smaller.
Yeah.
But I don't know anything about his RV because, my RV is smaller. I wouldn't mind going a little bigger. Maybe
He's got it all fixed up. I mean, he's fixed every problem there ever was on it.
It's really a nice RV.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with this one. So, about him selling his RV. I tried to go back, in his videos to see what he has, and I just went on to do something else, I suppose, before I found out exactly what it was that he was doing. We do have an open seat if anybody wants to come in. We've got Bing. Is that how that works? I think there were 33 people here altogether, and 24 of them are viewing now. Or not, I don't know. But basically, the tiers are open for women who are interested in sharing their information about RVing. And whether you are a wannabe or a full-timer, I'm a full-timer. And I've been doing this since April 2015. So not a year, but I was actually kind of living in my RV when I was at my house, and just to get used to it, get used to the concept. Now, I didn't shower in it, and I didn't cook in it, and I didn't poo in it. So, emergency bath only. That was all I did. If it was an emergency, I would use the toilet because I didn't want to have to take it out and dump the tank. So, but other than that, here. Now, you also have to understand, I had fallen off the top of the RV. I broke my shoulder, broke my arm, and so there wasn't a lot that I could do anyway. And, so, it is what it is. Ladies, what are the most useless RV gadgets you've ever tried to use? Useless gadgets. Useless. I'm trying to think of that time, when you have something in your hand and go, this is useless. And I don't know that I've done that yet.
Have you ever seen the umbrella kind of hanger that you can hang things on to dry?
Yes, I have one. I love it.
You love it? I thought it was useless.
Oh my God. That's what I was talking about at the top of the hour. I was talking about this. It is a wreath Christmas hook. I bought it at a Big Lots. It was $2. I bought 2 of them. And the hooks are different. They're like sideways or weird. They're like weird shaped. But anyway, that umbrella thing with the hooks on, with the clippies, I used that, and I put this on my, and it's gone again, skylight in my shower.
Yeah.
When I wash my underwear, because I don't wash those things in public washing machines. When I wash my bras, my underwear, and any other things that I don't want to put in a washing machine, I hang it on that umbrella thing. And then now I have a hook because I was using the shower rod. And that's all well and good as long as you bring everything out really, really well, which I don't do. So then you get your drip and on the floor in the bathroom, which isn't the end of the world, but still.
Oh, I ever got one and it hung every which way but where it was supposed to. I thought, hell with it.
Oh, I really like it. But I wrote it each time I use it, and I did it. And, I am on a Verizon. I'm talking to the Fontaine Wolf. And it says that you guys can't see me.
I see you.
And that my audio and poor internet signal. I've got 4G. It's fully loaded. And that's what I'm operating on. And and you can see me.
Yeah, I can see you. You went out one time.
Okay, can anybody else see me or not see me? Can you see me?
Can you see me now?
See me now? I know. And we talked about this a bit last week, of the internet choices that you have as a, thanks Janet, as a full-time reader. And, and they have signals that you can use instead of using your Wi-Fi device. They do have that at this RV park that I'm at now, but it's not strong enough to carry this kind of bandwidth. So, but the Verizon typically does a pretty good job. I have everything adjusted to, I think it's 240 megabytes per second. And so I don't see myself particularly clear. It probably would help if I turned on some lights, but I'm going to do that. I'm going to turn on some lights.
The only thing you got going is that your voice will wobble a little bit. But I can see you fine.
Okay. Is that any better?
Yep.
It brightens your face.
Yeah. You can see my face better now. But not RV lady, what's up with that? You might want to reload your page. And I remember being on the RV chat on Blab, and I could hear them, but I couldn't see them. And I reloaded my page, and then everything came up.
Oh, Jammin's coming in. Hi, Jammin.
Hello. Oh, there she is. There she is.
Hi.
Hello. I saw your last video.
You like that?
That was interesting. So, did you actually go up and knock on the door and say hello?
Okay, so what happened? This is how it went down. We're at Picacho Peak, and they pulled in a couple days ago, and we saw them pull in, and Steve says, "Hey, they got one of those signs on the side of their car door." And I said, "Oh, and he says, they're probably like bloggers or something." And I said, "It's probably network marketing." And because I'm kind of anti-network marketing right now. So I was like, it's probably network marketing. Well, then the next day we went out for a hike. And as we were walking by, he was reading it to me. And he says, "Hey, it says it outside our bubble." I'm like, "Oh my God, that's the bots." So I sent him an email and said, "Hey, we'd like to say hi. So just, let us know if it's convenient." And they got back to us like a half hour later and said, "Yeah, come on over after dinner." And so we went over and we were there for 2 hours just chit-chatting and had a great time.
Who was it?
It's the bots. They're from outside our bubble.
Oh, I haven't run across them yet.
And I never think to do that. I can't remember everything, But I should, when I pull into these RV parks, look around for people's rigs that I know and that are in the area. And
It completely shocked me because I'm at Picacho Peak, which it's like 40 miles out of Tucson or something like that, and even further out of Phoenix. It's in between the two cities. And so, I mean, what are the chances of running into somebody like that? And they were literally right across from us. I would open my front windows and stare right at them.
Oh,
They were my view.
Thanks for putting the RV Village on Nomadic Fanatics. I remember when I first started watching channels about RVing and whatnot, I remember that I remember seeing that and thinking that would be whatever the case may be, so that you can pull into a place and find out who's there that you know. And
yeah, we belong to our village.
Yeah. And so that's a really good one. And people who are looking at the @ sign, it says Nomadic Fanatic. That is not Nomadic Fanatic. That is John Yarvey, half of the team at Nomadic Fanatic. God, did I do that right? And they have a show, whether you know this or not. They have a show on Friday, every Friday, except it's last night, at 6 o'clock Pacific time. I think I have that right. Yeah. And started it a couple of weeks ago, and they're going to have guests and all of that stuff. And is that RV? Yes, Russ. That is that's who at Nomadic Fanatics is. But anyway, just to straighten that out, I think that, well, maybe, I don't know. But anyway, thank you for the RVVillage.com information, and I'm definitely going to do that, because in Florida, there are a lot of viewers and a lot of people that, I could say hi to and stuff like that, which is really fun. And there are so many places to camp and so many RVers, and oh my God. And at this place where I am now, beautiful rig pulls in, and yes, RVer TV, that is the RV at Nomadic, yeah. Anyway, people pull in, and the first thing I always ask them is, are you and this guy says, yep, we've been doing this since June. And they have a beautiful, beautiful rig, brand new. I think he said he paid $200,000 for it, but they marked it down from like $425. So anybody who's out there going to buy a new RV, yeah, you might want to seriously negotiate on the price. And he said he walked away from the table, and then he came back, and then he walked away again, and the guy just cut the price. And so what he told me was that he was shopping a monthly, payment more than anything else. So they kept breaking it down so that it got closer to the monthly payment that he wanted to make. And it doesn't occur to me to make payments. I never go by. I never go to like an RV place and look around and just look at the price and say, I'm not paying that much, because I don't think of it. And I'd rather just pay for it and it's mine. And
yeah, you should have seen the inside of the bots. They have a Tiffin Allegro. I think it's the Tiffin Allegro bus. Holy moly, that thing is nice. and they did a lot of
Yeah.
custom stuff inside. That just makes me nervous.
Custom
It's so
stuff?
big, and it just seems like so much maintenance and everything. The tires were huge. Standing
Oh,
next to
yeah.
their tires, it was like, God, how much do one of those cost?
Yeah. They're a lot.
Mm-hmm.
They're a lot. You know, we pay what, $400 or $500 per tire, and those I think they're close to $1,000 per tire.
I wouldn't be surprised.
That's what ours will be.
You know, they can run on retreads because those are truck tires.
Yep.
So you could put retreads on them, but you know, it's basically up to you. So we can try your mic so we can understand you better. It's hard to get everything you're saying. Okay. I do have a mic. And we have a question here. Is what's everybody's RV Christmas plan?
We're trying to figure that out right now. We're here at the park until Thursday the 17th. And then we don't know if we're going to head north or south. We're not sure. Wherever we land, we want to sit through Christmas and probably New Year's. And then after that, head to Quartzsite for our village. No, it's not our village. It's the Escapers Convergence, which is happening over the weekend of the big RV show.
Right.
Well, that's
When is that? Is that January or February?
It's January, I think 16th, 17th, I think. Whatever that weekend is.
So that's when the new 2017 or 2016s will be announced.
I guess I would assume that's the big show. So
I have my microphone. Does that sound any
oh,
better?
that's a lot better.
Oh, wow.
Oh, okay. But I lost a little clippy that lets you clip it to your clothes.
Hey, RV lady, welcome to your podcast.
Oh yeah, now that you can hear me.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, I forget that I own a lot of this stuff. You know, I forget that I have the microphone, and I wanted so badly to this GoPro that I bought, and I bought the GoPro Hero Plus. Don't buy that. Anybody who's got it on order or going to get it for Christmas or whatever, yeah, don't. And you can't plug a microphone into it. It just has a charging port, and that's it.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
Yep.
I've got the Hero 3 Plus, and you can plug a microphone in.
Right. So it's worth it just to spend the extra $100 or whatever, just because of the additional features that it gives you. And yeah, I'm kind of glad that I bought the GoPro, because I am over them. You know, the mystery is answered. I know what they're like now, and I'll pass. Thanks. Who was it? The ones that make really great videos.
Sony?
Oh, you use buttons. They did an Alaska.
Gone with the Wind?
Yes, Gone with the Wind. Thank you. And he showed all of his camera gear.
Mm-hmm.
And so I checked into what he has. And I want to say that that's $600 worth of camera stuff. I mean, you know, just the one setup was like $600. And that's okay with me, as long as it gives me, and he's, you know, and he said this is the one that he uses the most, and, you know, all of that stuff. And so I feel better about that. The GoPro, I think it's an action camera, you know, and it has some I mean, mine in particular just has some serious limitations. and the battery thing. And
Yeah, the batteries are terrible. I went with the silver, which has the screen on the back. And
Yeah.
I did 2 of them because I wanted, one for out the front and then one for on me when I'm driving. And then the reason I did the second silver is because that way everything was compatible. I used the same batteries. If it didn't matter which one I pick up, it was just familiar. Everything was the same. That's the only reason I did the silver twice, but you could save your money and do the other ones. I don't know that I would do the one you have, RV lady, just because of the lack of the mic plug-in
and the battery doesn't come out. You don't replace the battery, you charge it.
Oh yeah, see, you'd be
boy.
tying it up every time then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that.
And it is a pain in the ass.
Mm-hmm.
And the window, what's going on with the camera is so tiny, and the print is even ridiculously tiny, that you can't see whether or not you have any battery left or not. And it doesn't give you any warning. No beep, 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 beep. Your battery's going to die.
Yeah, on the front of these, they tell you in that little window, but I don't even use that. I use the back of it all the time.
Right. And now I think there is a way for me to hook up my GoPro to my iPhone. And I haven't done that yet.
Yes, but it will drain your battery on your iPhone too.
Oh, that's okay.
But it'll work. I mean, that would be an option.
Yeah, it's a much, much better option than trying to figure out what is going on in this window. And see, in the back is just the back of the battery. There's no larger window to see. So, yeah, save and invest in not the GoPro.
Yeah,
Plus.
and then the other thing with your phone is you can start and stop it, the record. And I have this that does the same thing. This is the smart control. And I can hook up both cameras, and so when I turn it on, both of them, the one out the front and the one facing me, that they click on. But even this, it's Bluetooth, and so you're still using your batteries. I mean,
yeah.
Jammin, can you read that thing on that little? I've got that remote. I can't even read the damn thing. That little screen.
No, the only thing I do is I turn it on and push record, and that's it.
Yeah. I can't.
Otherwise,
the window's so small you can't read it.
Yeah, I don't even know why they bothered, quite frankly.
I get it all linked up before I put them in their little holders and get ready before I hit the road. And then it's just a click, click.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I run mine off of my phone. I have a smartphone.
Mm-hmm.
And I downloaded the software, and so then I can turn it off and on my phone.
Now, how is your battery on your phone when you're doing that? Is it pretty good?
Yeah, it's good.
Okay.
It didn't seem. I used it all the way through Alaska, and it didn't seem to bother it.
Okay. Well, then there you go, RV lady. That might be your fix.
Well, that too, and I can travel with the phone plugged in, charging, so I don't have to worry about the battery going down on the phone.
That's true.
Yeah, because I have my phone is velcroed to the dashboard so that it's just sticking right there, and I velcro as many things down as I can. And it makes it nice because then I can just charge right there off the cigarette lighter things that aren't cigarette 12 DC plug ports.
Yeah. What bugged me? Is she going to talk? What bugged me was that I couldn't see what I was shooting. You can see on the Jam, and I think you can see on the back. I couldn't see. But with the phone, it showed up right on my screen, and so I knew what it was shooting. So it worked
Yeah.
best for me.
And that's what this is supposed to be able to do.
Yep.
I just haven't taken time to figure it all out. I just really despise electronics. You know, it's like you should tell, you know, GoPro or whoever, you know, hi, I want a GoPro, whatever, and I want it fixed up so it'll go to my iPhone automatically after I open the box. And you know, I just hate trying to figure stuff out.
It took me a little while too, because I don't have the patience to read all the stuff. And then the other thing is memorizing all the little symbols, you know. It's
Right.
Yeah.
I'm not going to remember that next week if I haven't used the camera.
Well, and do you know the settings and all the different changes from the 7 whatever to the 110 or whatever, you know,
Right.
whatever. I that drives me nuts.
Yeah, it's again, I'm going to the $600 solution. Now, I bought this because I got so tired of the GoPro software, and I'm not going to pay $15 or $20 a month to learn Adobe.
Oh, I'm not paying for Adobe either. I use Final Cut Pro 10.
Okay, I bought video. It's Corel, and it's Video 6.8, and so I just started to learn how to use it, and it really seems more versatile than anything else that I've used before.
I'll be
But,
interested.
you know,
I'll be interested to hear your if you like that, because I in the past have used some Corel stuff and really liked it, but because I'm a MacBook, Corel wasn't compatible. So
right.
But I did have that on my list. I was looking at it.
Yeah, this has an option for the Mac. When I ordered it, I want to say that they made the choice. I was on a Windows system, and so again, you open up the box and everything works. You know, that's what I like, and you know, and I could have downloaded it for the same price, but I decided that I would prefer to just have the program CD, basically, so I can put it on another computer and, you know, share it with all my friends.
Oh yeah, see this person says Adobe is better, but I'm not paying a monthly fee. I won't do it. I won't do it.
No.
This is a hobby for me. This is not my job.
Right. And that's how I feel about it too. I use Creative Cloud because I use Premiere, SpeedGrade, After Effects, Photoshop, and Illustrator. Yeah. Again, not my job.
Not my job.
Yeah, not my job. I want something. To me,
I want to keep it fun.
I want to keep it fun, and it's my memory.
Yeah.
You know, I'm capturing my memory.
Mm-hmm.
Decrepit and sitting around thinking about days of old. I can actually, you know, pull out these CDs that I make and say, oh yeah, that's when I was in Florida. Oh yeah, I wonder what they're doing now. Oh yeah. No, I remember when that alligator jumped up and chopped off my phone.
Do you find that just even last week you forget where you were?
Yes. There was actually a couple of days throughout this, you know, since April, that I've woken up in the morning and I don't know where I am.
Mm-hmm.
I just was like, okay, now where am I?
What day is it?
Oh, you never know what day it is.
Right?
Oh, you never know. I have a calendar in the back that if I didn't it's a eraser board, so that I can remember where I've been, and plus I back it up in here so that I can read this real quickly and say, oh, okay, that's where I was. I don't have to go back through the videos to figure out where I was in October of last year. I can just open that and say, oh, I was in, whatever. But for the day-to-day stuff, I have that eraser view. And then, of course, I have the notebook. And that's basically minute by minute what I'm supposed to be doing. Because, you have a real tendency, because I'm not on vacation. So It takes you a while to get out of that I'm on vacation mode, because I'm not on vacation. This is my life.
Right.
And so, I still have to remember what time it is in various places, so I'm not calling people too early or too late. And, it has changed a lot for me. And I've woken up many times and said, I don't know where I am. What state is this? I was so embarrassed to ask the clerk, because I had a map of Texas, but I did not have a map of Alabama nor Mississippi. And so, they were just blip, basically on the highway. But when I got to where I thought I was going, I stopped at a market to just pick up some groceries. And I asked the woman, I said, am I in Alabama or am I in Florida? And she said, you're in Alabama. And I said, okay, do you get that a lot? And she said, you're 20 minutes from Florida. And so, okay, I didn't feel, as ridiculous as, where am I? I don't know.
I've actually started blogging again, because I used to blog back in the day. And then I kind of pulled away from it. And then I thought, oh, well, I'll start doing videos, because that was kind of the fun thing, new thing. And then I'm like, I think I better blog again, because then I can document the places I've been and have it in one spot. I can put pictures there. I can bring the videos over from YouTube and just have it all in one spot. So I think I'm going to go back to blogging also, just to keep it organized.
Yeah, I find that generally people don't read, and I'm saying that as a writer. And so that's why, for my visual memory, I do the videos, and they're mildly entertaining and informational. But I do the visual. I tried to do a blog years ago, and I just found out that I just discovered I didn't care what other people thought. Because they would go on my blog and they would tell me what they thought, and interaction, and then I discovered I didn't want to talk to them. I didn't want. There are pieces of your soul that you just want for yourself, and when people start trampling all over it, then you really got to think, how important is this? It's not important. So, I do enough writing. I don't need to add something else. And I find the videos to be fun and easy to do. And we have a question here. So, ladies, is it at all important that you monetize your journey, or
Doesn't matter.
let's just take the it out and say, or does it matter? It doesn't matter. To me, it does not matter. It's okay. When I set up where it says, and you can find me on YouTube as RV Lady. On YouTube, they let you beg for money. What's that called? They let you solicit viewers for money.
eBay.
Okay, support the channel.
eBay.
Support the channel.
Yeah, eBay.
When I fan funded,
That's what it's called. Yeah. That's what it's called.
fan funding. But anyway, I did mine as a when I see other RVers out in the world, okay, let's use Nomadic Fanatic as a perfect example of this. Nomadic Fanatic is somewhere in California. His transmission has taken a dump, and he doesn't have, um, he apparently has the money to fix it, but he doesn't have the money to then leave town.
Right. He has to park it for a month and wait for the next paycheck.
Funding or whatever you want to call it. That's what that does is,
Yeah.
and I take the money that I use or that I make from my YouTube channel, which isn't very much, maybe, and I put that money in that fund so that when I run across somebody, because I've done this my whole life, you know, you run across somebody, they seem really sincere and they seem like they really need help. I mean, mine's reserved for RVers, and I'm not buying GoPros for anybody. But, you know, it's just when $20 or
Right.
$10 or $20 is really going to help them. And so whether it be gas, there was a guy that was in a truck camper at a gas station where I stopped and got gas. And he had a sign and a dog, and, you know, trying to get to Texas and out of gas was his sign. And so I stopped and I gave him whatever, $20 or something. And he was like, thank you, thank you, thank you. You don't know what this means to me. And I said, no, actually I do. You know, pay it forward someplace else. You're going to run into somebody. And that's all you have to do is somebody's going to need your help someday. It's not necessarily going to be money. It's just going to be something, and just help them do that. And so Nomadic Fanatic, same deal. I sent him whatever it was, $10, I think. I need money for a new RV. Okay, I don't buy people RVs either. Russ, very
You know,
funny.
that's kind of one of those topics that I would love to talk about eventually, is what it takes to get out on the road, what kind of jobs you can do out on the road. And people need to learn that no matter what you're doing, you have to pay your dues.
Yes.
You have to pay your dues in everything in life. So
Yes.
it doesn't matter.
You do.
It doesn't matter, like a job. You either have to go to college, you either have to do an apprenticeship, you have to do, you know, if you're in sales, you got to build up clientele. You have to pay your dues.
Yeah. You have to have some kind of skill that will make you money on the road. If you have no skill, you are not going to be good at this. And if you do not have a skill that is something that doesn't require you to stay in one place, or, you know, for me, avails me the opportunity to send everything. One time I had to go Federal Express. So, you know, basically go find a post office, etc., or mailboxes, etc., or whatever they're called, and you deal with that. But if you don't have some kind of income, and then, God forbid, my fingers fall off the end of my hands, you know, some kind of backup plan, you know, something could happen to me, and okay, no, nothing could actually happen to me that would end it. I was thinking when I broke my shoulder and I broke my arm, you know, I just went to talk to the computer software and, you know, did it that way instead of typing, which was fine. And, you know, there's always a way around it. But if you don't have a skill, you're screwed, basically.
Well, the other thing is you gotta start not at the top. You have to start like these guys buy old vans and whatever, and they can go someplace and work for a while, stay put and build up their money, then move. You know, you can do it a little bit at a time and not just think you have to move every day.
Well, I think the younger people like Jammin the younger people like the RV, those people have the time, I want to say, to be able to stay in one location if the job that they get requires them to do so. Okay. Like the RV, he's required right now to stay in Phoenix. You know, sure, he wants to get back out on the road, and hopefully one day that he will. But right now, and he's young, you know, he can do that. I'm playing beat the clock. You know, I figured that this is the time for me to do this. I'm healthy, and the things that I need to have done health wise, I can get done on the road. You know, I'm capable of dealing with many of the pitfalls of RV living myself. And I think that you have to have skills in order to have this kind of life, or you have to live with someone who has skills. So, you know, it's not an inexpensive way to live. And all these people who make videos and say, you know, I'm living free. Well, that's BS.
Yeah.
They're not living free.
Thank you. They're not living free. That's the truth.
No, they are living off e-begging, or they're, you know, pandering at some point for money or donations or whatever, so that they can remain on the road. And sometimes you just have to break down and go get a job at McDonald's or wherever. And
If that's what it takes.
Yeah,
you know,
that's what
you know, Steve is, I don't work. I raised the kids. That was my job. And he worked. But his job, he's done for almost 20 years. So that's allowed us to go out on the road. Now that we have internet, that's allowed us to go on the road. So for 20 years doing his job, he paid our dues.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and I see that Vanny Granny is saying, I'm screwed, no skills, widowed. Okay.
Now hold on. That's not true though, because you can go learn something. And somebody, I was reading the other day, somebody had a job. I was reading on somebody's blog, Gone with the Winds. They did a write-up on somebody that skydives. And he took his business on the road. He does stuff with computers. And he said the hardest part was learning to be a small business owner. But you know what? You can hire an accountant, and accountants can work from anywhere, so they could be out on the road. So if anybody wants to learn accounting, there's another skill.
Yeah, I met a college professor who lived in her van. And, okay, I don't remember what kind of van it was, but it was one of those Volkswagen ones. She lived in it full time and did her classes online. And it worked for her. Mm-hmm. You know, checking homework, everything was done on the internet.
Did you see what she said on the side? I just saw that. I'm sorry.
Holy crap, I thought you were suggesting I learned to skydive. Well, learn something. No, it's, you know, it's, what do they say? Do what you love and you'll never work a day in your life. And so there is probably something that, Vanny Granny, you enjoy doing. It may be knitting. It may be, you know, baking. It could be a lot of things. I can actually see that it would be beneficial for somebody who really knew how to bake in an RV to pull out pies and go door to door saying, hey, I just made pies. They're $5. Do you want one? And I can't imagine that wouldn't go over really well.
Right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Well, you know, as long as everything's clean and tidy and whatnot, everybody has skills. It's just a matter of tapping and marketing whatever that skill is.
Right.
And, you know, let's see, $5, they're selling them. So sure. What's this?
For the pies.
Oh, Oh, yeah. Well, whatever it is, you would be a business. So everything that you're riding around in is tax deductible because it's all part of your business. And literally to pull into an RV park and have a product to sell might be the way to do it. And it can be anything. It can be jewelry. It can be, you know, not everything, just the garbage in the toilet. Um, it could be anything. And I think that people don't tap the skills that they have. They just figure if they can't work a computer or whatever, then they have no skills.
Yeah.
And computers are the bane of my existence.
Well, and then
Honestly.
the other thing is they want a quick fix to get out on the road. And again, you have to pay your dues in order to get out on the road. So whether it's, saving money to buy the RV outright, well, that's paying your dues.
Yep.
Having the job to go out on the road, that's paying your dues, whether it's through education or time on the job or building a clientele. It's so
I mean, honestly,
get
at
on
this
it.
point at this point in my life, I would pay somebody to come and read to me the things that I need to read. And that sounds really weird, but I get tired and I can't read anymore, but I need to read the material. I need the material. So, people have skills. They just don't realize that they have skills.
Yeah.
I mean, that sounds so weird, but to pull into an RV park and say, I'm a reader, I will read whatever you want me to read. For whatever, $10 an hour, I would say, come in, please sit down and read. I need this much stuff in my head by today, and it's, that would be great. I would love that. And it's so simple, and everybody has that skill. Well, most people have that skill, and it's just reading out loud. It's not that big. It hits the road at 23. Okay. I think that there are people who are on fixed incomes and, making it that way. But again, they know what their income is. They know when they have to stop.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And that's basically what they do.
Truth Disciple wants to know what percentage of RV community are still working versus retired or other with an income.
I don't know. I would say that it's, I would venture to guess. I've been in a lot of RV parks. I've seen a lot of RVers. I venture to guess that at least 25%, maybe 30%, are living on pensions or whatever, fixed incomes. The rest of them are working, believe it or not.
Even the pensioners are working like work camps and the state.
Yeah, and there's always the work camps.
Yeah.
It sounds so horrible. Go to a work camp. And those are the kinds of things that, and eventually I'll go do that. I will find a place where I would want to spend a summer or winter or whatever, and apply to be a work camper there or a host or whatever they call it. And I have no problem cleaning toilets. And okay, yeah, I do. I have gloves. There are, again, you have skills. It might not be the skill that makes you $1 million, but it'll get gas money for your tank so that you can move to the next place or whatever. I'd say at least 50% of these parks are working folks 30s to 60s. 50% of these parks. That was the RV. But I think that
this park, he says, of his.
Oh, this park. His park where he is. Yeah. At least 50% of these parks are working folks 30s to 60s. Yeah. I think that a lot of people choose to, well, this park where I'm at, real interesting. The RV park itself is not very large. There's no amenities. I mean, they do have a laundry room and there's a shower, but there's no swimming pool or jacuzzi or any of that stuff.
Read Granny's comment.
I can see myself in the office, but suspect I'm way too lazy to do the physical labor. Well, that's okay. You know what you can do is you probably know how to use a riding lawnmower, and you be the little person that goes out and mows the lawn, and that's just sitting there steering and vibrating the crap out of your body. The RV park that I'm in, half of this has the FEMA trailers that they rent out. Wow. And I was walking the dog through the neighborhood, that little neighborhood there, and I saw one of them didn't have a skirt on the bottom, so of course you can see the undercarriage of the trailer, and it was the FEMA things. And those, I mean, I'm sure they're okay, but those are like mobile homes. Mm-hmm. Okay, so, and then the other half of the park, the only thing that they have as an amenity is, of course, trash and, sewer and water and electricity. And they have a kids' playground. But I've seen 2 kids there. But apparently there are like 80 kids who live here between the 2 parks. And I think there's only about 35 spaces here. And he says he's full all the time. Well, that's because he's like the best deal in town. And he's really close to everything. He's 5 minutes from everything. And see, and I like that. I like the, when I went over to the Naval Aviation Museum, it took me 7 minutes. It was great. I didn't get lost. I didn't have to worry about, how many turns I was going to make and, get lost and forget where I am, where my RV is. But the beach, actually the bay is, I can walk there. So, the dog and I take a walk and we go down to the bay and, she dips her toes in and then we leave. But let's see, any other questions? Because we are Geritol happy hour. Are you telling me this is a Geritol happy hour? I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think so. Hey, I got to show you something real quick. See it?
It's a juicer.
Yep, I got it.
Is it like mine? It's pretty. Does it have the suction cups on the bottom?
No. It has little rubber thingies, but not suction cups.
Mine has suction cups.
Oh,
I don't have to move it when I travel. It stays right there.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that spot because on Steve's desk, everything shifts because that's the driver's side. It shifts over to the passenger side. Now I can put stuff on my desk and it doesn't fall off. But on his, we're constantly grabbing stuff. So I don't know. Yeah. I might have to pack that away.
Yeah. Now we are a few minutes to the end of the show, and I'm looking at a calendar is what I'm doing to see the next Sunday is the 20th. Of course, Christmas is on Friday this year, the 25th. Okay. And then we will not have the RV Women Hangout on the 27th. But we will do it on the 20th if you think that's a good idea. Do you think it's a good idea, or do you think we ought to take 2 weeks off?
No, I'll do the 20th.
Yeah, do the 20th and then.
Okay. So we will do next Sunday at 4 o'clock Pacific time, the RV Women Hangout, and it will be here on Blab. I give up with the YouTube thing. I will post this video, and for those of you who have made it this far in reviewing the video, I kind of didn't hit record, and so we lost the first half hour because I'm an idiot. So,
why are you skipping the 27th? You don't think people will show up?
Yeah, I think people are with their families, don't you think?
It could be either way. Hard to say.
I figured that's, the Sunday after everybody has eaten and gifted and drank and they're just tired. And I just really wonder if anybody's going to, show. What do you think?
I think they're all over it and they're just ready to go on with it. I think we ought to try it.
Yeah, what's the worst thing that can happen, really? One person shows up, me.
Well, I don't have any family.
You're not going to be with your family, or you are?
No, I got my daughter back home and my son over in Texas, and I'm in Arizona.
Well, I know, but you're pulling up stakes and going somewhere. Where?
Either Phoenix or Tucson.
Oh, okay. You're going to stay in Arizona.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, I thought maybe you were going to hop, skip, and jump it over to Florida for some, warmth.
No, we hit Texas and turned around and came back.
I don't blame you. Man, Texas was gloomy and rainy, and it's, the whatever that is, the 12 or the 10 or whatever, the 12. That is just, is that what it is? The one that goes across the top of Texas?
10, wasn't it?
The 20. The 20.
Oh, 20. Okay. Yeah, that just gets clobbered all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like the 40 that's further up north that goes east-west in California, California, Arizona, and into New Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
That clobbered by weather patterns. But okay, let's do the 20th and the 27th. I'm going to let Yarvi in here so that he can pitch his show.
Hey, everybody.
Hi.
We're doing the Nomadic Fanatics, which is actually going to become sort of this all-encompassing. I've talked with Eric. It's going to become this sort of all-encompassing community. So it's not just him. But we do our podcast on Fridays at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern, 0200 GMT. And our schedule is this coming week on the 18th, we've got Jason and Kristen Snow, the Snowmads. Then the week after that, you're going to want to watch. We're doing a Merry Christmas show with Vangirl, and we're going to have an announcement. And then on the January 1st, New Year's Day Eve, we're doing Welcome to 2016, and that's one you're going to want to watch too, because we've got a kind of a pretty big announcement that we can't talk about yet.
Can you give us a hint?
I can give you a hint and say if watch that show. If you don't catch that show, watch the replay. It's and we'll kind of tease it on the 18th, and we're fully expecting like we have contacted Blab and let them know that we may break their service with. Because we're announcing something the 31st, and then we're talking more about it on the live show on the 1st. On January 8th, we've got Josh and Kaylee from the Freedom Theory. And in session 8 on January 15th, we've got the Mobile Hobos, Joe and Carrie, that are going to join us.
Nice.
So yeah, it's going to be a fun time.
So when is that again?
It is Fridays. 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern, 0200 GMT, so you can work it out in your own time zone. And being the dude here, I'm going to get the hell out.
Yeah, get out. Okay, so that's it for us. He wants back in. He got out, wants back in.
I saw somebody comment, email out reminders. If you go to thenomadicfanatics.com, you can sign up on our email list, and we send out weekly reminders for the show.
Okay, so good to know. So I will then see everybody back here on the 20th at 4 o'clock Pacific time. Everybody figure it out for your own time zone. And I guess that will be our Christmas show.
Yeah.
I have to think about that.
I think people will show up because Sunday night, I mean, they're probably getting ready to, go back to work. And
No, I'm talking about the 20th. The
That's our
20, the 27th is
the 20th.
the one that I said we were not going to do, but we'll do that.
Yeah.
But the 20th should be our Christmas party.
Yeah.
So I think we should all drink alcohol beverages.
Yeah. Should we show up drunk?
Yeah, I think we should all drink, and I'm going to figure out how to do like a some kind of game that we don't, some kind of fun game
Okay.
over the internet. I'll figure it out. I want to do something like, fake gifts or something, where you get to pick a gift, and then if you like it, you keep it. If not, you pass it on. Something weird. I'll figure out something. Okay, so I'll see y'all next week on the 20th, and don't let the Christmas season drive you crazy. Remember, it's supposed to be about, other things other than what's on sale,
Right.
or what's on sale, or what people want. Give people what they need. Stop giving them what they want. And I'll see you guys all next week.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay,
Cheers.
be brave. Bye. Click your fingers. Yeah, I just can't get that.